The Caribbean and Africa urged to step up efforts to build transport links. Concern over the future of local festivals.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening with NewsNight. I'm Anne-Marie Burke. Barbados wants countries in the Caribbean and Africa to take concrete steps in building the much-talked-about air and sea bridges linking the two regions. Prime Minister Mia Motley says this will ensure Africa and the Caribbean control their destiny.
I ask us to reflect on this because it is this simple act, apart from our music and our culture and our food, that will guarantee that it is not simply heads of government and heads of state that will meet in Accra or Bridgetown, but it is ordinary people who will be able to trade and to move from the closest point of Dakar to the closest point of Bridgetown, to be able to open up the opportunities that technically ought to be available, not just simply through the Africa Free Trade Area or the CARICOM single market and economy, but through the combined opportunities provided by both.
Ms. Motley was addressing the 38th African Union Summit in Ethiopia. The summit themed Justice for Africans and People of African Descent through Reparations brought together heads of state and government from all 55 AU member states and other key officials. Ms. Motley urged the international community to take their calls for reparations seriously, telling former colonial powers to not only say sorry, but mean it. She told African leaders the future of the world is not possible without the stability of the continent and its diaspora.
The reparations that we call for, beyond sorry, must be for fair access and development and compensation, because we each started the journey of independence with a chronic deficit. A deficit of resources, a deficit of fairness, a deficit of opportunity. And it is up to us, many of us in the second and third generation of independence, to be able to frame out fairly in a mature conversation what those reparations must look like if we are to attain justice and to inspire the young people of this world.
Prime Minister Motley's full address at the 38th African Union Summit in Ethiopia will be aired after CBC NewsNight. There's a call for the youth to become more involved in the execution of the island's festivals and events. It comes from organizers of the Hotong Festival, who believes it is critical to ensure the longevity of these activities. Horatio Agard has more.
Motorcycles, classic cars, the Zouave Band, Shaggy Bears and the Tuck Band were all on display. But it was the youth groups, including cadets, scouts, blossoms and cheerleaders, which formed most of this year's Hotong Festival Street Parade. However, there is a concern events like this will die if there's not an injection of youth in the planning and execution. It comes from committee member of the festival and the George Eliot Memorial Classic Car and Street Parade Show, Vanetta Ward.
The youth have a lot of ideas. We have, there's the old school, but with social media and digital marketing and everything, the young people have so much to offer. And it's just to get them engaged and love what they do. And that's why we have, if you see on parade today, we have so many young people. We have many queens in African gear, so we're trying to get the youth included as much as possible, so to keep them out of trouble, for want of a better word.
Visitor Dave Barrett says it's the first trip to the Caribbean for him and his friends, Julie, Rita and Roger. They have already pledged to return.
This is great, a little community event. It's obviously attracted an awful lot of people, and we're hoping to have a good day. Of what we've seen of the island, we've stayed on the west coast, and it's really gorgeous, and the sea's beautiful. We were snorkeling yesterday, and the reef fish and everything are just really wonderful, lovely.
British visitor Trish Sissons describes Barbados as a home away from home.
It's just such a relaxing, happy place. Everybody we meet is so nice. It's just really nice to come.
Meanwhile, Commander in charge of the Northern Division, Acting Senior Superintendent Winston Holder, has commended the public for their good behavior.
We be out in our numbers and to ensure that persons can enjoy themselves and have a good time at the festival. We will be adopting a zero tolerance approach to any breaches of the law, and any breaches of the law we will be dealing with swiftly and firmly. So we ask the persons to be of good behavior, come out and enjoy themselves, right? And we are here to serve, protect, and reassure the citizens of this country, and that we will do.
A number of events are scheduled for tomorrow, with a concert featuring the Barbados Police Service Band set to round off the festival. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
Meanwhile, the George Elliott Memorial Classic Car and Street Parade Show is reaping dividends for Barbados. This as the model has been used to create a similar event, the Fowey Classic Car Show in England. Chairman Dennis Epsley says the 5th edition is set for August this year.
We have a carnival just like this in Fowey. I've been coming here for quite a few years, and the car parade before it struck me as such a great idea. We've copied it, and we've been doing it this is our 5th year coming up, and we've already got 400 cars booked in this year for our parade, and it goes right through the town, just like this. So this is our baby, really. The whole town carnival is very important to us.
4 Barbadians and 1 Tobagonian have been remanded to Dodds Prison after court appearance in connection with the importation of $4.6 million of marijuana. Their 27-year-old Demario Doughton of Brayton, 35-year-old Jamar Curtin of Sunbury, 42-year-old John Eady of Evelyn Road, and 53-year-old Wayne Chase of Edgecombe Tenantry, all in St. Philip, as well as 40-year-old Rodell Skeet of Tobago. The men were held during a drug operation on February 9th at Welch's Beach, Christchurch. They are charged with possession with intent to supply, trafficking, and the importation of the illegal drug. They were not required to plead to the indictable charge when they appeared before Magistrate Kirsty Coffey Sargent in the District A Magistrates Court this morning. The men will reappear in the Oistins Magistrates Court on February the 20th. Coming up, Barbadians told not to be alarmed about the Chinese AI app DeepSeek. Barbadians are being told not to be too alarmed by the recently launched Chinese artificial intelligence app named DeepSeek. Following its release, U.S. tech stocks fell after experts said it rivaled the capabilities of American models. However, Managing Director at CariSec Global, Edward Millington, says AI will become part of everyday life. He says his main concern is how trustworthy these AI systems are, especially in the Caribbean. Mr. Millington participated in a webinar hosted by the Barbados Coalition of Service Industries on the topic of DeepSeek and the shift in the AI ecosystem.
Our main concern is what everybody keep on hearing: the responsible use of AI, in its development, in its deployment. Is it trustworthy? And I think that's one of the main things that we in the Caribbean have to really kind of focus on, because how are you teaching this AI? Right now, AI in its particular sense, especially large language models and so forth, is non-transparent in terms of how it operates. And from our risk approach is the governance that's being put in place to make sure that the correct deployment or correct development and deployment and utilization that can be risk assessed, so that in other words, to reduce not only risk to businesses and persons, but also to democracies.
The cooperative movement in Barbados has been making a significant contribution to Barbados' development. It includes 25 credit unions and 26 businesses in the transport, agriculture, marketing, and consumer sectors. Chairman of the International Year of Cooperatives Committee, Oriel Doyle, says the sector is important to the day-to-day lives of the majority of Barbadians. The announcement comes as Barbados joins global activities in commemorating the International Year of Cooperatives, being celebrated under the theme Cooperatives Build a Better World. Mr. Doyle says their contributions are not often recognized.
The local movement employs in excess of 3,000 persons, providing billions of loans to Barbadians. It invests millions in government paper and direct funding, and our social awareness and contribution to such causes are second to none in Barbados. Most importantly, though, the democratic and transparent nature of cooperatives and their activities, which we have brought to bear to the financial landscape on the island.
The University of the West Indies Global Campus Alumni Office Outreach Program for secondary school students has been expanding. The program, preparing today for tomorrow's challenges, transforming children's lives, started with the Ellerslie School in 2016. Global Campus Alumni Officer Sandra Griffith-Carrington says it's now in 12 secondary schools and continues to grow.
Last year, we got the best news ever. Sandals Foundation gave us in excess of US $60,000 to ensure that this program is executed in the 21 secondary schools in Barbados. This year, we have reached 12 secondary schools, and we expect to expand next year, maybe to the 21, but each year, thanks to Miss Sterling Willoughby, Griffith Willoughby from the Ministry of Education, through the guidance counselors, we are able to expand into the schools.
Ms. Griffith-Carrington says the program takes a holistic approach, preparing students for the world of business and life in general.
With the rising violence in schools, we believe that this topic is so critical, especially at this time. Dealing with difficult persons, how do you deal with difficult persons? And know that this is an area that you have to carry all through your life. So you will deal with difficult persons at schools, but when you go out and you have to deal with clientele, again, you're going to be meeting somebody that might be difficult. And then we show them that to twin dealing with difficult persons is conflict resolution.
Ahead is sports with Damien Best. Stay with us.
Sports time. Good evening. I'm Damien Best. Well, West Indies all-rounder Hayley Matthews and the Mumbai Indians tasted defeat in a thrilling match against Delhi Capitals in the Tata Women's Premier League today at Vadodara in India. Ron Bates hit a brutal half-century to lead veterans to a comfortable 9-wicket victory over Limers in the final of the Amas over 50s T20 cricket competition today, chasing just 117 at the BNOCL ground in Woodbourne St Philip. Veterans raced to the target in 11 overs and 2 balls to secure their third title. Bates led with 69 off 32, inclusive of 9 fours and 2 sixes, and Jeffrey Lafon was unbeaten on 33. Here's a look at the chase.
Bates down to the third man region, to the right of that man at first slip, another boundary to Ron Bates. So the veterans continue to be large and in charge here at the BNOC ground in the final. A short delivery by Guinness this time around Bates. Bates on Gill, short delivery, and this one is hit high, hard, and very far. As Bates, this one is hit high, hard, and the pin is coming towards us, and we will wait for the bang. The run chase. Short delivery swung backward of square, and this time Lola Fawn is not being the fall, he's being the aggressor. Bates on Estwick. Delivery down the leg side, and Bates is sweeping into the backward square region. He will bring up his half-century with a boundary.
Hit a couple of sixes, so a very good start to his innings.
And another sweet shot. This one goes a little bit finer, but it will also go into the boundary again. We'll continue from the Sovereign. And it is a low appeal. Thompson into the attack and picking up a wicket. That of Ron Bates. 116 for 1 as Clark passes the umpire, goes to Lafon. Lafon is coming out of the front foot, and there is the winning run. The run that will give the veterans their third title in this competition.
Well, earlier winning the toss and batting, Limers were held to 116 for 6 in their 20 overs. Dave Clark top scored with 39 and Michael Agar 31, while Anthony Morris was the pick of the bowlers with 1 for 11 from his 4 overs. And all the action was live on CBC TV8. Well, Set A are the champions of Interhouse Sports at Cooperative in Paris School after capturing 1,001 points. Set B took second place with 720. Third went to Set D, 682, and Set E were fourth, 680 points. Set C finished fifth, 553, and sixth was Set F, 496 points. CBC's Anne Margaret Voice reports.
All the colors on display at the Usain Bolt Sports Complex for one reason: Courage and Paris Interhouse Sports Day. Under 15 girls to get the show on the road. No clear-cut winner just yet. Before Soraya Pigot in lane 4 prevails for set C in 13.54. Alana Bradshaw of set E was second, 13.65. And Majay Armstrong of set A was third, 13.71. Under 15 boys followed, and this was a done deal. Therese McLean goes to the bank and deposits the winning check for set D, 12.22 seconds. Put that on the savings account and remember it. Shaquan Paris of set C was second, 12.88, and Jamari Cyrus third for set E, 13.55. To the under 17 girls, only 5 athletes in this one, and it's a walk in the park for set D's Kishonna Clark, who has a look at the clock, 13.35 seconds her time. Azara Clark of Yearwood was second, 14.44, and her housemate Shalia Cummins third, 15.48. And they were coming hard and fast. Under 17 boys, who wants the glory? Look at lane 5, Jaquan Williams, the champion for set F, 11.46. Jaco Davinish of set C was second, 11.91, and Shakobi Rubble of set D third, 12.31. Under 20 girls, who's the sprint queen of CP? Let's find out. Amara Herwood of set E will take it in 14.29. Kanesia Otley of set D was second, 14.96. And Sierra Blackman Oliver third for set A in 15.19. Now to the Marquee event, under 20 boys. Channel 8, you will never forget this. Showing good form, it's McCoy King. Give him the crown, 11.16 seconds for victory. Giovanni Lee of set A was the runner-up in 11.39, and Nikolai Clark of set A third, 11.75. That's all, folks. CP Sports 2025 in the bag. Anmar Goodrich Boys, CBC Sports.
Yeah, thanks, Anmar. Finally, this story. Local football legends join family, friends, sports administrators, and government officials, including Acting Prime Minister Santia Bradshaw, at the Coleridge Memorial Gardens today to bid farewell to former Barbados football captain and coach Keith Grell Griffith. A remarkable Barbadian sportsman, Griffith had a passion for road tennis and football. However, it was the latter that made Grell a household name as player, coach, and commentator. Awarded the Barbados Service Star in 2010, Griffith, who passed away at age 80, was described by his contemporaries as a meticulous individual.
As a coach, very, very, very organized and very professional in his coaching and also his immaculate attire. He would have on Adidas shorts, jersey, socks, and trainers. And to complement that, at the end of the session, he would also have an Adidas tracksuit. And this is Keith Griffith. He was always neat and tidy and always ready for the task ahead.
Good evening and welcome to the weather news. Well, the high-pressure system was the dominant feature today. As a result, we had fair to partly cloudy skies along with some showers. The winds here in Barbados, they are gusty, and the seas, they are above normal. We do have a small craft warning as well as high surf advisory in effect. The maximum temperature today was 29 degrees Celsius, the minimum 22 degrees. At present, the temperature stands at 26 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity 63%, which means that the atmosphere is quite dry, and those winds are coming in from the east. We take a look now at our satellite feed, where the high-pressure system dominated today. We saw a few low-level clouds drifting across the island. As a result, we experienced fair to partly cloudy skies along with some showers. Now, we had up to 3.6 millimeters of rainfall. The winds are gusty here in Barbados, and they're up to 35 knots. Meanwhile, the seas moderate to rough in open water, with swells peaking at 3.5 meters. We are urging small craft operators as well as sea bathers to exercise caution. There is a small craft warning as well as high surf advisory in effect. Now, later on tonight, we can expect a mix of clear and cloudy skies along with a few scattered light showers. Further south, cloudy skies along with showers and rain prevailed across the Guianas. Over now in the Western Caribbean, they had fair to partly cloudy skies along with just a few showers across most of the islands. Well, that's our first look at the weather. After the break, we'll have the forecast. Welcome back. In the forecast for tomorrow, the sun is expected to rise at 6:21 and will set at 4 minutes past 6. The first high tide, that's expected at 12 minutes after 6 in the morning, low tide at 3 minutes past noon. Now, those seas are moderate to rough in open water with swells peaking at 3.5 meters. We are urging small craft operators as well as sea bathers to exercise caution. The winds are coming in from the east and they're peaking at 45 kilometers per hour. For us here in Barbados tonight, we can expect a mix of clear and cloudy skies along with a few brief scattered light showers. And over the next 3 days, a mix of sunshine, clouds and showers can be expected. Our news. Thank you for joining us and continue to enjoy your evening.